The Community Education Channel presents Community View, a closer look inside community issues that matter. It's a glimpse, a preview, bringing public perception to light on local community issues that make a difference. Hello and welcome to Community View. I'm Melissa Anderson. Well, ballots will soon be in the mail in Washington County for voters to decide on various issues this general election, and voters will also be asked to vote on a special school bond election in Washington County District this year. With us today to talk more about that is Steve Dunham. He's the Communications and Public Relations Director here in Washington County for the school district.
Yes, thank you for having me,
Melissa. Thanks, Steve. Now, a lot of people might not know, but this is like, it's a big bond issue, but they might not have heard too much about it. Tell us the amount and why it's important.
Certainly. We're asking voters to approve a bond for $125 million. And we need this because of our growth. We're the fastest growing community in the nation, according to some surveys. And, you know, this year alone, we've had about 1,100 new students come into the school district.
Wow. Now, that sounds like a lot of money. But from what I've heard, it's over a 20-year period of time. What does that compute to for homeowners, I guess?
Well, for homeowners, because of our credit score, essentially the school district is AAA bond rated. It's like having a perfect credit score. So 2 years ago, we refinanced all of our old bond debt. We're aggressively paying it off, which has put us in this situation now where we're asking voters to allow us to freeze the tax rate for 5 years. And by doing that, as we pay off old debt, it'll leave us a little gap of money each year that gets bigger and bigger each year as we pay off old debt. And that allows us to generate the $125 million without raising the tax rate above what it is at this year.
So is this going to pay off some past general bonds?
No, this bond is strictly for new. We're already paying off the old debt.
Okay. All right, so tell us what this money needs to be for.
So we're building 3 new schools. 2 of those will be elementary schools and 1 will be a career and technical high school. It's a new opportunity for children that can find a relevancy in their education for 9th through 12th graders. They'll graduate with a diploma as well as an industry-rated certificate so they can come out of high school earning a livable wage, which can fund their further education at Dixie State or Dixie Technical College up on the hill. It's really a great opportunity for our children. In a survey we held amongst our parents this spring, 3,000 children said they would like to participate in a school like this.
So do we have a shortage of schools? Obviously, if we're building 3 new ones, I mean, 1,100 students, I don't know that means 3 schools, but we must be moving.
We are. You know, that's 1,100 students this year. Over the past 4 years, we're up about 4,000 children. And so we really do. That's about 8 elementary schools or 3 new high schools. And so that's what we'll do is we're going to do some boundary realignments. We'll fund these 3 new schools. We'll also fund safety improvements in every single school building in the district, as well as some significant maintenance and upkeep that we need to take care of.
What happens if the voters don't pass this? Are we going to be stuck? Are we going to have a problem with how to be able to take care of these kids?
It does. It becomes much more of a challenge for us. We would have to consider either year-round school or dual sessions, which is where you have kind of like holding 2 schools in the same building. One starts really early in the morning and goes till midday. The other starts at midday and goes until the early evening.
Okay, so split schedules.
Yes.
I don't know if the kids will like that.
No, and parents will not like that either. It really becomes a challenge, though, when you have the growth like we're facing to balance everything.
The amount, why was it determined that we needed this much? Was it all calculated in?
Yes, it was all calculated in so that we wouldn't have to raise the tax rate above today's levels. And that was the key to us. We feel like with what we've been able to do financially by refinancing old debt, if we could just freeze the tax rate, then we don't have to ask for a true tax increase. It still ends up being a tax increase for some people, depending upon the assessed valuation of their home that may change over time. But we're freezing that tax rate at today's levels.
Now, some people might say, well, I don't own a home, so I don't have to pay it. But the homeowner says, I own a home, but I don't have kids in school. How fair is that to people?
You know, it's really tough. Our system has always been funded through tax dollars like this. So whether you have children, grandchildren, or you went through school at one period, somebody paid for your education. And so it really does become a challenge, but people need to recognize that, you know, we have to educate these children. We have to provide opportunities for them. And we're trying to do that as the most cost-effective entity that we can. If you look at our achievement scores and our graduation rates, Utah really excels in that arena for the amount we spend on education, really getting those high return on their investment for our taxpayers.
Well, as we heard earlier, people will be voting by mail, so they need to just look at that and make sure that they get their feelings known, right? So make sure
Correct.
that you vote.
Correct.
Thank you so much for explaining that today. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, and make sure that you get out and get your voices heard by voting your conscience on these important issues. And if you have ideas for this show, please feel free to contact us. Thanks for watching.